A scandal described as one of the greatest miscarriages of justice in UK history involved local post offices across the country and faulty accounting software. In the UK, a government-owned company called Post Office Limited franchises the operation of individual post offices to sub-postmasters. Back in 1999, Post Office Limited began to find shortfalls between amounts reported by the sub-postmasters and those showing in its computerized accounting system. The system, called Horizon, was developed by a subsidiary of Japanese IT giant Fujitsu. By 2015, more than 900 sub-postmasters had been prosecuted of financial crimes based on the discrepancies, and most of them were convicted. Thousands of others also had to make payments to Post Office Limited. Many lost their franchises. In 2019, a British court ruled that faults in the Horizon system had caused the discrepancies, which didn't actually exist. Finally, last year, the Parliament enacted a law exonerating the postal workers. Nonetheless, there are still a number of outstanding issues for the victims.
Yes, this was my third post office, which I purchased in 2005.
Sammy Sabat was a sub-postmaster in southern England. Around 2006, the Horizon accounting system began showing cash shortages out of his post offices that eventually totaled over $65,000 US. After being told he had to make up the shortfall, Sabat sent a letter to Post Office Limited to defend himself. He was ignored.
And all this money that is become missing, it's not true, it's fictitious. We spent 2 years arguing this and discussing it. And in the 2 years, not once did they ever admit that there was anything wrong. They always maintained that the Horizon system was robust.
Sabat was prosecuted for fraud. In 2009, he received a suspended sentence and ended up losing his post offices. He says the stresses of the case caused him to suffer from depression and later a heart attack. Then, the defect in the accounting software was disclosed. Sabat's conviction was overturned 4 years ago, but he is continuing to fight for proper compensation for the losses he incurred.
We're just trying to get what we have lost, what we are owed. What happened to all the money that the post office had collected from us? I will not leave it at this because I'm angry.
The wrongly accused individuals are not the only victims of the scandal.
Thank you so much for coming.
Rebecca Foote, the daughter of one sub-postmaster, lives in the northwest of England.
Although children aren't seen as primary victims, we were definitely still victims in this scandal.
Her mother, Pamela Church, ran one of the post offices where the accounting system reported cash shortfalls from around 2000. She was forced to make a large repayment, which drove the family into bankruptcy. At age 13, Rebecca had to work in a restaurant while also helping take care of her siblings.
I knew that I couldn't ask my parents for money because there was no money. So from a very young age, I knew that if I wanted something, I had to work for it. I was not having any weekends. I didn't have time to study.
Currently, the families of victims are seeking support from the government. Rebecca organized a group last year that is now calling for aid to families, including both financial assistance and mental care.
My ideal outcome with government would be that everything that we talk about and that we want out of the scheme happens.
So far, about 1.7 billion US dollars has been paid out to around 9,600 victims, but a quarter of the total claimants have yet to be fairly compensated. A legal expert who also serves as chair of the Horizon Compensation Advisory Board emphasizes the need for support for victims' families.
They do need money for compensating harm and for ongoing support for life. But they also need mental care, psychological care. I hope that UK government will establish a response which is favourable for the victims.
We asked NHK London Bureau Chief Yamada Hiroki, who covered the story, what caused this disastrous situation and why it has gone on for so long.
The size and scale of this scandal stems from the fact that Post Office Limited concealed the problem with the accounting system for such a long time. This July, a British independent inquiry reported its findings. The report stated that some employees at the Fujitsu subsidiary had discovered prior to rollout that the system could produce erroneous data. It also condemned Post Office Limited, saying that it maintained the fiction that the computer data was always accurate. The inquiry plans an updated report on the root cause of the problem and examining who is responsible for the scandal. Another aspect of this scandal is Fujitsu's response to the matter. In October, Fujitsu subsidiary Post Office Limited and the UK government issued a joint statement announcing they will open dialogue with victims and their families and offer mental health support where needed. The Fujitsu subsidiary will provide the funding for those measures. Fujitsu has this year also commenced discussions with the UK government regarding contributing to the fund for victim compensation. But no details have yet been revealed regarding the timing or extent of such contribution. This scandal provides many lessons for society, including how those wrongfully accused should be compensated and how a company should own up to issues through robust governance practices.
That was Yamada Hiroki, NHK London Bureau Chief. Clearly, for many victims, this matter remains unresolved.